What's up, y'all? Chris and Sam, I'm back again, and I'm here to give y'all blitzes that'll hit home and make your defense 10 times better. You're probably struggling to get pressure. Offense has all day to throw. Even when you do blitz, it's not getting home. They're getting big plays. You're getting gashed. Well, this video is going to show you how to blitz, when to blitz, and what to look for before you blitz so your blitzes hit home more effectively. So there's a few things when you're blitzing that you want to look for. One, are they in an open look, right? Is the tight end attached to the formation or is he detached to the formation? Are they in a protection look where the running back's the opposite side of the tight end that's attached to the formation? And or if that is the case, are they one of those who does that and don't even know they're doing a protection look and still release the back and the tight end so it ends up becoming an open look post snap? Down and distance matters, personnel, and knowing the situation, right? A 1st and 10 blitz might be different than a 2nd and 3 blitz, right? You have to understand the situation and understand your opponent and their tendencies. You're probably thinking, dang, I didn't know it was that much. I don't want to be, when you play football, it's chess, not checkers, right? You have to understand all these things and be able to process all these things so that your blitz hits home effectively and more often and more frequently. Blitzing without a plan, which is probably what you've been doing is why you're here, is probably the worst thing to do, right? Because when you're blitzing, you're probably going zero behind it, so there's nobody else. Once that ball's out, if they beat your guy that's covering him, it's 88 out the gate. It's sweet. Good night, Irene. So just having no plan in blitzing is probably the worst thing to do. I'd rather you not blitz and just sit there and just keep getting gashed, right? Because you blitz without a plan and not know what you're doing just because you're frustrated the offense is moving. Next you know, they hit an 88 bomb on a post route and you're even more angry, right? So let's avoid that. When you're blitzing, the element of surprise is probably one of the bigger things that'll help you, right? Now, sometimes your opponent knows you're blitzing, the situation calls for it, and you're going to run regardless, right? You're letting him know, I'm blitzing, buddy, beat it. Figure out a solution to stop it or try to get this ball out before we get to you. Mid blitz is one of those, and empty. Some people like to sit in empty, and they know they're going to get hit, and they still do it. They know you're blitzing, and you still run it, right? There's certain situations where, hey, the element of surprise is off, but stay in there, run that blitz, and let's try to get home and make a big play for the defense. Now I'm gonna walk you through just a few blitzes that I like and when I like to run them, what I'm looking for, and how I run them exactly to the T. The first one you're probably thinking, oh, mid blitz, no, right? Mid blitz is it's not meta, but it's just like it's watered down, right? It still works, and we're gonna talk about it, but I want to show you one that probably you're not thinking about. Over Storm Brave. I love this one, and I really only love it to open looks. If they're not an open look, tight and detached, I'm not running this, right? If the running back's in the backfield, that's still fine. Sometimes who you're playing, they might not really understand blitz looks, right? So this might be to your advantage. But say you are playing someone who knows a blitz look. Well, buddy, you're going to have to bring that safety down and hover over that backer so they can address the protection look. So here we have a simple open look. Tight ends detached, running back in the backfield. They got 6, we're bringing 6, right? What's going to make this odds in our favor? Well, but you got to bring this guy that's blocking the running back, bring him down, right? All you need to do is hover him. Now their blocking protection is off. We have one extra guy, and when you're bringing him, don't just hover here and not expect to go. No, you need to be fully aware and fully expecting to blitz, because if they block that back, which a good player will do, well, you need to go insert and make sure you keep the numbers +1 in our favor, right? But in doing that, you also need to be aware, hey, if they release his back, you have him, right? So don't go showing in here. You're outflanked. I'll run a now route to the running back right now. I'll have you out leverage. It'll just be me and you to beat, right? Unless you can switch stick with one of these guys, and that's still risky because if they have a go and you switch stick off the safety who's covering the tight end, well, that's a blur, and everything is pointless. So don't show in here. Show over your work, right? I'm even fine with showing here, because if they do end up trying to release the back in and out, or inside inserting him and going left across the formation, well, he has to run through all that traffic. We have time to then get over here anyway. So I'm fine with you showing over him, right? If you don't want to get in the way of your linebacker here, showing the outside on the edge, right? It's still the O-line still has to address this, right? It's still kind of messing with their brains. It's something that has to be worked through and talked through. So on the snap, I'm going to stand here and I'm going to go. If he blocks, I'm going to go, right? I'm going. Pressure inserted, catch and hit, right? That's what you're looking for. Blitzes aren't always going to hit home, right? But if you don't want that to happen, I'm going to show you what to do, right? And just make sure you have good corners who also can run. And if you do this, there's another step to take as well, right? So we're back again, but this time I'm going to press. I'm going to bring this guy's well down. I don't want any air, right? Any space between anybody and the receiver, because what I want this blitz to have time to get home. A key thing to note as well on this blitz is make sure your backers are fast. You can't, and some people put safeties in, that's fine, but having fast backers makes this blitz hit home even faster, because they're obviously starting 5 yards back, right? So really they have to make 10 yards to get to that quarterback, really 12 if you consider the drop back. So having fast backers is very key in this blitz. It's not the end all be all, but it definitely will significantly enhance and boost his blitz. So here we have everybody pressed. If you don't have good corners or fast corners, you don't trust him out here. Well, buddy, you need to play over the top. How do you do that? You press Y on Xbox, flick the right stick up, right? Now they're pressed, but they're not going to jam. On the snap, they're going to bail out of there. Now if they're running slants, drags, well, you might be in trouble, right? So it's risky, right? Me, I'm going to risk it for the biscuit, right? We're going to press. Ain't no, I'm playing underneath. Ain't no over, we're not bailing, ain't no conceding, right? We're getting there and challenge him, right? And I'm gonna show in here again, right? And on a snap, if this black blocks, well, I'm gonna go with him, right? We all gotta go, right? Nowhere to go. And look, when you blitz zero blitz, you might get beat, right? It's a high risk, high reward. But it's risk, right? If one of those receivers beats somebody off the line really quick because they have shifty or press pro, and take off, well, you might be in trouble, right? But that's the risk you want to take. Nothing good comes without a risk. You want to blitz somebody, you want to get a negative play, a forced fumble, a sack strip fumble, a pick six. You got to risk it for that biscuit. I'm risking it for every biscuit in the world because I like to blitz. Come here, I like to blitz. And obviously, y'all didn't think I was going to get out of here without talking to you about mid blitz. Oh, this is my favorite blitz. It's not cheese. It might be meta. It's not cheese though. This is real football, right? Double able. We call this double able. Both backers walked up, mugged up into the A gap, right? Are we blitzing? Are we going? This right here is the ultimate like mind game with your opponent, right? Now be careful. Situation matters. If it's 2nd and 3, don't be a mid blitz. They'll run the ball. They'll get those backers right up out of there. And some of y'all put safeties. It'd be even worse. If it's 2nd and 3, anything under 5 and less, really, I'm not going to say that because know your opponent, right? If he likes to run the ball on 3rd and 10, well, I can't help you there. You're thinking his pass. I'm thinking his pass. You might have pass committed. I might have pass committed. Now we're getting gashed up to ours. Nobody wants that. So just that's why we say, look, there's no like set in stone when to run these blitzes, right? So people who are telling y'all that's not right. You got to understand the game flow, your opponent, and the situation. And also the personnel who's in there. Is that back the 3rd down back or is this the bruiser? You need to know this. You need to know exactly what's going on. Does he have a tight end, a tackle at tight end? Like even if he's in a passing look, is that a tackle at tight end? I've seen that, right? You have to understand these things when you're playing this game and trying to blitz, right? Because what have they done this year? They've made this game as realistic as ever. So when do I like to run this blitz? I love it to open sets. Again, most blitzes you want to run to an open set. You really don't want to run a blitz to a tight end attached. It's just not. You're playing with fire. Yeah, we're already playing with fire. Now you're playing with octane fuel with an 18-wheeler attached to it and next to a gas tank with a fire match lit. You don't want to play that. That's too much playing. I don't like playing that much. So let's keep it simple, right? If you don't see the open look, well, don't blitz them. You don't have to blitz every play because you'll be playing someone. They'll say, well, why aren't you just doing the blitz now, buddy? Because I don't do it every formation. I blitz certain formations, right? Open looks, empty. Those really only 2 formations I'm going to blitz. Unless I know you're a guy who come out with a tight end attached and still release him anyway. It's just there for show, right? It looked good, but it's not good. So the first thing you're going to do, right? Everybody knows this. When I'm pressing, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing and y'all can just adjust. I'm going to give y'all tools to adjust off of. When I'm doing this, I want to play everybody underneath, right? And I also want to shade inside. I don't want, because the easiest throw is what? Inside, right? I want to make them throw those hard routes outside. If they can make that throw, yeah, props to you. You beat me that round. Let's run it back again and see if you can make it over and over and over, right? I don't believe you'll be able to do that with that pressure, but that's what the risk we're willing to take. So on a snap, again, don't show up in here. Like too many people show up in here and it's like, all right, what if they run the ball? Cool. But buddy, if I run a pick route, right? If I put that tight end on a drag and that running back on a wheel, I might get thumped real fast, but you was in here, I'm gonna get that ball off. You won't be able to make it. It just won't work. You might run into one of these guys over here. I'm free. So again, show over your work. Your work's right here. Show over there. This is plenty good enough. If they run the ball, we can't stop it with this. Well, we got other problems. We need to talk about something else, right? The mid blitz is not the issue. Where you're lining up is not the issue if that's the case. So again, we're pressed, we're underneath, right? Make sure this safety, you got to manually put them there, right? Because they will keep moving. And we're inside. We're shaded inside. We're route committing inside, right? Because we're breaking on every inside route. I want them to throw those outside routes. You should have time to throw those out breaking routes. If you have time to throw those routes, we're in trouble, right? They released the back. The back was released. That's the worst thing you could do if you're on offense is release the back and not have a plan of a quick hot route. Don't worry about this. If you don't have a plan and you're releasing scat release the mid blitz, buddy, just turn the game back in. You don't want to be, you're not trying to, you're just, or you're just here for fun. Like you don't want to win. You don't care about winning. Winning's not on your mind. That's fine too. No one's judging you. But me, yeah, we're getting active. We gonna block that back. Don't do that. That was bad, right? I'm glad that happened. I didn't even know that was a play. I'm glad that happened. I'm glad y'all could see that. Good teaching point. I probably should have started with this. You want to make sure if you're running mid blitz, one, you have as many quick jumps as you can. Clemson, we only have one quick jump. The next thing I want to do after that, just have your fastest guy, right? Parker obviously he's not going nowhere, but I have one quick jump here, and that's, you want quick jumps on that line because you want them getting to the quarterback as fast as possible. It's really the difference between probably 0.0, maybe 0.1 seconds, honestly. They get off the ball pretty fast. Quick jumps are, again, still overpowered, which I don't mind it. I love it. It's a tactical, right? You have to know your personnel. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to make sure I have corners all over the field. Now, you don't have to do this. This is something I do. If you have a really good safety that can cover, keep them in there. Clemson has good safeties, but I don't really trust them to cover, man. I'd rather have corners out there that are used to doing it and are probably a little fast. So we're going to make sure we do that. Once you make sure you have all those corners in there, if that's what you want to do, right, this is just what I do. This is how I run it. I have DBs all over the field, all corners. Have my quick jump on the edge. It's risky, right? If they run the ball, you have nothing but corners out there, right? So you better pray your D-line can hold up and your backers can hold up in there just enough time for you to get down there and just probably cut stick them, because, yeah, it can get real wild if they run that ball. So here we're lined up, right? Again, I want to press my corners. Bring the safety down manually, right? This is something you have to do really fast, right? I want to shade inside. And really, if your opponent you're playing is snapping the ball off rip, that's even worse for them because they might not even have their protection right. And as long as you just press and come down here real quick over this line, you're good. Right? You don't have to shade inside or underneath or over the top. That's just extra if you have time to do that. If you have no time and you know your opponent's moving fast, just press them, right? Bring this guy down, right? They're walking to the huddle. Come here, bring this guy right here, and we're good, right? On the snap, we're going to see what this back does, right? He blocks. We got to come in, right? Now, don't be me. I hesitated. As soon as you see that, go. Attack your man. Attack your man. We're going to try it again, right? And I'm going to be better this time. I'm going to bring him, regardless of what he does, I'm going forward, right? You put your hand on that left analog stick and get ready to go forward, right? Boom, fumble, right? And that's why I say it's nice to have quick jumps. I would like my quick jump to be on that side because they'll probably get there faster. But again, that's not the worst case in the world, right? That's what we're pressing. We don't want the receivers to have time or get open and give the quarterback an easy throw, right? We want to challenge them at the line of scrimmage. Now, this is my favorite thing to blitz to, empty. If I ever see anybody in empty, I'm blitzing you to the cows come home. Until you show me, I need to get out of my blitz. And it'll be a 0 blitz, and it's going to be mid blitz, probably 9 out of 10, maybe 10 out of 10. You're getting blitz, right? I'm blitzing you out of empty. I'm not going to sit there and let you just develop all your routes and just gash me. No. We're gonna clash. We're gonna figure out who's better, whose one-on-ones is better, right? I like mine better than yours. So empty, it's an easy setup to set up on empty, right? You want to press. Again, we're pressing everything, right? We have our quick jump on one side and we have our fast D on the other side, right? If you want to squeeze your D line together just to make him hit home faster, that's fine. You don't need to. It's something I've started doing lately, but it's not a make or break. Again, we want to press underneath. Now look, if you're playing someone fast and you don't got a corner for it, you need to back that guy up. And I'll show you what it looks like. Just back him up right here. That's all you need to do. They shouldn't have time to rear up and throw a slant. And if they do, your guy should be breaking on it immediately, right? Catch, tackle, knockout, or jumping it and get a pick. But say for the purpose of the video, you don't have to worry about that. We're going to press everybody. Everybody's getting pressed. You're all getting pressed. Come in here and press these guys up. On the snap, we're going to wait, and you're going to jam. How do you jam? A on Xbox, down on the left analog stick. We're going to jam this guy. Pressure. I'm glad that happened so you can see what happens if you do blitz and they got a guy who can get off that ball and that's what's going to happen. To combat that, I flip my ends, right? I want my quick jump on the side that they're not clearly sliding to. And once you figure that out, you might get gashed one time or maybe a big play one time. Figure that out. Figure out which side they're sliding the protection away and get your quick jump unblocked. It doesn't matter. If they slide left, the quick jump will come. If they slide right, the other guy will come. They open it up, the middle will come, right? It doesn't really matter. They don't have enough guys here to block what we're bringing, right? The only thing they can do is try to slide one way and pray that they can get a fade ball, right? And even then, that shouldn't happen because we're pressing across the board. We should hit home before he has any chance to, I mean, he could throw the ball, right? It might be a bad ball, but he could throw it, but he'll be getting hit immediately. So on a snap, again, I'm lined up in a slot. You could choose who you want to jam, right? Just make sure you're in the peripheral of who you're about to jam so you can see the jam happening. And on a snap, we're going to wait. We're going to just jam. We're going to jam our guy. He went to the flat. Pick. Don't be me, right? I clicked off, but you see what happens, right? They have to panic throw the ball. Again, we're going to come in here. We're going to press, right? We're going to press everybody. We're going to be the guy that presses ourselves. You come up here. You challenge these guys. The pressure should hit home. Don't miss. Don't miss. You miss, well, we're going to try this again, right? The pressure's getting there. I'm not doing my job, right? Once you do your job, right? And that's what I like about this game. The jam doesn't hit every time, right? Last year, the jam hit every single time. This year, it's not every time, right? And I'm glad y'all are seeing this live. This is just what it would look like. This is the outcomes that can happen if you're mid blitzing. These are the outcomes that happen. I'm not going to sit here and make it look perfect, because that's not football. Football's not perfect. You might get beat, right? That's the risk you're taking in trying to create a big play for the defense. So let's see if we can't sit here and get a perfect play, right? Because I know some people, oh, what does it really look if it's home? If it's perfectly ran, we're going to sit here, we're going to press down, right? Shade underneath. We're going to play inside, because we don't want any easy throws. You may have to keep moving this guy, because he's going to keep moving, fidgeting. And we're going to sit here and we're going to jam. And that pressure should hit home like crack in the 80s, right? Boom, got him. That's the perfect rep. Me personally, right, I wouldn't run over Storm Brave to this, right? I know y'all probably want to see, well, let's see what it looks like to empty. I'm not doing this. I want everybody, if I'm blitzing someone in empty, I want everybody on the line of scrimmage. I don't want them having time to run, and it just gives the quarterback extra time that I don't want them to have to here in the stunt, right? So this is what it looks like if you run over Storm Brave to empty. I don't approve of this. I'm not advertising this, but if you want to try it, this is what it looks like. This is the best case, right? We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna press everybody down. We're gonna play it inside, and we're gonna jam our guy. Might have taught myself something. Don't bank on that looking like that every time, because again, you don't want these guys coming from depth. If you're blitzing someone empty, you want to blitz them, right? Because what have they done? They've accelerated their formation, right? So we need to accelerate our formation, right? So bring these backers from their off position to on the ball, right? But if you want to do this, you can't. You just want to stay underneath. You want to play inside, and then you want to, whoever guy you want to jam him. I'm choosing to jam the running back. I missed, right? Right, but that's the beauty of blitzing, right? Because it's not always guaranteed, right? There's not one blitz that should be said it's guaranteed every time, right? Because you don't know what the offense might do. You don't know their personnel, the guys they have, who might get beat. You can't control that. All you can control is the look and when you choose to run certain blitzes to certain things to give yourself the high chance to succeed. So here we're gonna try it one more time. Again, I don't condone this, but I'm doing it for this video purposes only. Right, I keep missing that jam. Don't be me. I just happen to know what he's running, but I'm missing the jam. But you could just kind of think of that as me jamming him, right? That's what it looked like. There's nowhere to throw. Everybody across the board is jammed up. He doesn't have enough time for someone to get off the jam and beat him into their route. They shouldn't have time. It's a zero blitz. We're bringing more than they're blocking. That's the point of these blitzes. As usual, if you fooled the video and you really like this content, I ask you just to like, subscribe, and comment on this video. If there's anything you want to see next, please drop it in the comments.